and his longtime friend and rival, Magic Johnson. Look at this trio. Julius Erving here as well. Now, the NBA has picked their 50 greatest players of all time. If it was confined to 10 or 12, these three would be on it. That would be easy. But now we'll put you all on the spot, starting with Larry. If you had to pick one of the 50 as the top guy, who would it be?
Well, it's hard to pick just one, but I would go with these two guys.
What a diplomat! What a diplomat!
Newfound diplomacy.
Magic?
I would go with these two and Michael.
And Doc.
Well, with all respect to these two guys and Michael, I got to go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know, I've said this a lot of times before. He started 2 years before me, finished 2 years after me, so he's the guy who was my #1 adversary during my basketball career. And I think when you pick a guy to be the greatest of all time, you got to pick a guy who you fight against.
Yeah. Talk about guys who were the #1 adversary for each other. Few people in all of sports are linked the way you two guys are. I know you've given it some thought. You were obviously great players and would have been under any circumstances, but what would you have been without each other?
Well, I would have won a lot more championships for one. But, you know, actually, Magic made me a better player because I was always watching him, see what he was doing every night, and knowing that I would probably meet up with him at the end of the year made things a lot more special. And being from Boston, we always wanted to play the Lakers anyway, and the Philadelphia 76ers. But, you know, Magic being on the West Coast, he didn't play anybody until the finals, so it made it a lot easier for him.
He had a cakewalk in the finals every year.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I think that Larry said it correct. What I would do is, because their games came on first, I would watch the score, and I would say, okay, let me see what he did. And if he had one of them high triple-doubles, he would make me mad, and then I would have to go out and get a high triple-double myself. But I think that we needed each other, and because it made us work hard, not only during the season, but off season, because I knew he was shooting 300 or 400 jump shots a day. I knew I had to be out there doing the same thing.
You know, Doc, people talk about Bird and Magic, and maybe some forget that you're right there in the mix in terms of the rivalry. You met Magic's Lakers 3 times in the finals and always stood in the way of Larry and the Celtics getting there. Either you knocked them off or they had to get past you before they got to the Lakers.
Yeah, I think people tend to only remember the success stories, and certainly in the 80s, following the 70s, in which maybe Abdul-Jabbar and I took the game to an art form, you know, more like Picasso and Michelangelo. These guys brought it back to earth, firmly rooted in good fundamental play, the passing style, and then they took over the torch that was passed by the two guys we just mentioned.
One last thought from each of you. All the players are talking about the feeling of camaraderie here this weekend. Is it even greater than you expected, the bonding between you and the fellas, not only from your era, but those who preceded and followed you?
Well, I think that, you know, basketball players and guys, when you talk about 49, all these guys, 50 guys, I should say, they respect each other. And we're going to bond because we know how hard it was to get to this point. So we respect each other, and that's the main thing.
Larry?
Great players always have the utmost respect for other great players, and that's showing here this weekend. You know, when you see Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, and all the other great players walking around, it gives you a sense of a real good feeling inside.
In 10 seconds, who did you really want to meet and get to meet, maybe for the first time, of all these historic guys?
Well, the beauty of it for me is that I had a chance to meet everybody. But Hal Greer was one of my favorites because he played with Wilt, who was also one of my favorites. So I'll say Hal.
Will Chamberlain, because being a Celtic, I want to beat him.
And Paul Harris and I are going to hang out in Philly now. You know, he's lived there the last 40 years, and he's within 2 miles or 3 miles of where I live, and I didn't even know that.
Paul Harris and the old Philadelphia Warrior, you the old 76er. Our thanks to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. The warm-ups continue here in Cleveland, and we'll be back after these messages.
I can.
The new NBA reversible jersey, the attitude of a champion. Available at Foot Locker.
In yet another torture test, we drained the oil from this car and added just this much Castrol Syntec. We then ran it over 100 and waited and waited. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts, protecting them under the most torturous conditions. And if a little Syntec protects this well, imagine what a full oil change can do. Castrol Syntec Full Synthetic protects in ways other oils can't.
American Express, how can I help you?
Mr. Carter, I have you booked on the next flight to Taipei.
Confirmed on that flight to New York.
If they were American Express traveler's checks, there'll be no problem.
That's no problem.
I'll have your medicine sent to your hotel right away.
Right now, you have just over 2,000 membership rewards points.
Maybe you'd like to speak to one of our financial advisors.
Financial advisors.
Talk to me about where you want to be when you retire.
I reserved 4 seats. Will there be anything else?
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more.
Hey, Juwan, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Juwan?
Juwan, who?
Juwan, go McDonald's and buy me 6-piece chicken McNuggets. It's only 99 cents. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Scotty.
Scotty who?
It's gotta be 9 McNuggets for me. They're just $1.59. Great with America's favorite fries. Knock, knock. Who's there? Him. Tell who? He'll buy us 20 while they're just $2.99. Yeah!
McDonald's Chicken McNuggets, America's favorite way to dunk.
Some terrific point guards on display, including, of course, Utah's John Stockton. But this week, Sports Illustrated proclaimed Cleveland's Terrell Brandon as the premier point guard in the league. Lofty stuff. The hometown favorite is with our Peter Bessie. Pete?
Well, so much for anonymity, them naming you #1. Of course, we knew you were #1 way before that. Now, what does it feel like being a marked man? John Stockton, Gary Payton, they're going to be coming after you today.
Oh, this is the All-Star game. This is what it's really all about. And I don't know if I'm #1. I think that's just more of an opinion than anything else.
When you sat behind Mark Price for those 4 years, did you learn more as a person or as a player? Because you didn't squawk during that time.
Well, I was just able to learn from an All-Star. I think anytime you practice against an All-Star, I did it for 4 years, and when you do that, I think you pick up on a lot of things, and I've learned poise from Mark and a lot of things on the basketball court as well.
All right, Terrell, have a great game tonight. Now we're going over to Steve Jones with a couple of young stars.
All right, Pete Bessie, thank you so much. We're here with surprise and redemption. Let's start with redemption first, and that's Chris Webber. You're back here in the All-Star game, and you've had a lot of injuries. Does this make you feel that you restored your game, maybe gotten rid of some of the negative press?
I just thank God. I tell you, last year at this time, I was at home and just had surgery about 2 days ago. And it didn't seem like it was possible to even get back this next year. I just thank God. I can't believe I'm here today. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm real happy right now.
Well, you know, the surprise of the league happens to be the kid. And you're here in your second year. You surprised that you made it?
I was a little bit surprised. I admit that. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to be in this game. And I'm like Webb, I'm a little nervous, but I'm here to have fun and I'm enjoying it.
Well, both of you are a little giddy at this stage, and if this is the 50th anniversary of the NBA, you've seen some of the old players walk around here. Have you talked to any of them?
You know what, I got to talk to Bill Russell for about 5 minutes yesterday, and that made my whole trip, getting down, and just by him saying Chris, he knew my name. You know, that's my father's Michael Jordan, so it was a pleasure to me.
How about you?
I got to meet Big Moses Malone, my mentor, my sort of strength of joy, so to speak. I got to meet him, and it wasn't nothing but 2 minutes, but it was a life experience.
All right, guys, good luck in the game today. Let's go back up to Bob.
All right, Snapper, thanks a lot. Well, there's a great feeling here this weekend. A final thought about the game itself, because we've been talking about history in the 50 years, but they will play a game tonight.
You're right, Bob. I think all I have to say is for the coaches, the players, and the fans out there, put your pens and pads away. You know, the juries and the coaches have decided the emphasis will not be on strategy today. It will be on having fun.
All right, Doc, see you at halftime. We're getting set for the introduction of the players for the 1997 NBA All-Star Game. And we'll turn things over to the All-Star trio of Marv Albert, Matt Dukas, and Bill Walton in just a moment. The NBA on NBC continues after these messages from your local station. Enjoy the game, everybody.
A great evil endangers the fate of the world.
Madman threatens to blow the city sky high!
One hero is our last hope.
You know I'm gonna stop you.
Alec Baldwin, Penelope Ann Miller in the NBC premiere.
You're the Shadow.
Only he knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The Shadow, NBC tonight.
Hello, Rio!
At Rio, I'm still an MVP, a masquerade village person.
Who was that hunky masked man?
Put on your dancing shoes and meet me at Club Rio.
The Gat Race Rio Best Hotel in Vegas.
station. Rio, where the hidden you
Comes out to play.
Rio,
Make it style.
Where's Cookie? Gone for grub. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Cookie better rustle up something good.
Yep, like Subway's chicken fajita subs. Hoss, I can almost taste them delicious chicken strips.
Mmm, with heaps of garden fresh fixings.
Topped with paste thick and chunky salsa.
Here's the grub, boys.
Burgers!
Get a rope.
Take the Subway challenge and take one bite. If you don't think our subs are great, you get your money back.
The best place to improve your home's insulating system is your attic. And the best way is with Owens Corning insulation with Miraflex fiber. The compact rolls are easy to handle and simple to install. But the real surprise is how soft these revolutionary fibers are. They're virtually itch-free and poly-wrapped for even more comfort. And comfort is what it's all about. After all, there's a system to these things. Owens Corning. For a free sample, call 1-800-GET-PINK.
Belinda Jensen on Care 11 News.
This is the NBA on NBC. Today, a celebration of the NBA at 50. The world's greatest athletes in the NBA All-Star Game.
A look at downtown Cleveland. There has been a renaissance in this city, a city that is proudly hosting the NBA's All-Star Weekend. At halftime today, the NBA's 50 greatest players will be introduced, and we'll bring it to you as part of our coverage. It all will be capped off by tonight's 47th edition of the NBA All-Star Game. Capacity crowd, better than 20,000 turning out here at the Gund Arena in Cleveland, and we welcome you. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Matt Gukas and one of the NBA's 50 greatest players, Bill Walton. And the All-Star Game always provides a showcase for Michael Jordan. Jordan's All-Star experience, nothing less than spectacular. 1988, he's won his second straight slam dunk contest. The very next day, he scored 40 points and was named MVP of that 1988 All-Star Game. And then last season in San Antonio, he led the East to victory, won his second All-Star Most Valuable Player award. So, Matt, for Michael Jordan, again, it is a chance to add to that legend. And it should be pointed out, he has a very impressive supporting cast with him.
Just what Michael Jordan needs. More talented players to get him the basketball. Now, Scottie Pippen, he knows well. Solid statistics and a big reason why the Bulls are having another fabulous season. Grant Hill, the heir apparent to Michael, does everything well and makes it look easy. And Penny Hardaway, no stranger to the spectacular, but would much rather make a good pass to a teammate. You know, Marv, with all this help, Michael just could be reaching for another MVP trophy.
And Bill, you were telling me, with all that you have accomplished as you look back at your very first All-Star Game in Milwaukee in 1978, there was some very anxious moments.
Marv, the pressure is just immense. Now, you're nervous initially because of the awe that you feel for the perennial All-Stars, but you realize very quickly that you need to establish yourself and get your game going. Now, this year we have 5 first-time All-Stars who are terrific players. Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, and Christian Laettner, who are 3 dominant personalities for their surging teams. And then there's Eddie Jones and Tom Gugliotta, 2 guys who are overshadowed on their own teams, but are really the glue that keep it all together. Now, the old guys, they have plenty left to say, but the new guys have all told me that they've learned some of the biggest lessons of all in All-Star games. Don't pass the ball, and Marv, whatever you do, don't take it out of bounds. You'll never see it again.
And I know both of you fellas share that excellent philosophy. We're ready to go, set for the introduction of both All-Star teams. Let's go to the public address here at Gund Arena and Jeff Shreve.
He's making his all-star coaching debut from the Houston Rockets, Rudy Tomjanovich. The assistant coaches from the Houston Rockets are Larry Smith, Bill Barry, and Jim Boylan, and the trainer from the Los Angeles Lakers, Gary Vitti. And now the players from the Western Conference. A former Rookie of the Year and the 1995 All-Star Game MVP from the Sacramento Kings, Mitch Richmond. He's led his team in scoring for 3 seasons, and this year leads in points, steals, assists, and minutes. From the Golden State Warriors, Latrell Sprewell. One of the league's most explosive guards, making his All-Star debut from the Los Angeles Lakers, Eddie Jones. This fifth-year forward leads his team in points, rebounds, and minutes played. From the Minnesota Timberwolves, Tom Gugliotta. This 6'10 forward consistently ranks among the league leaders in field goal percentage. One of the top 6 men in the league. From the Dallas Mavericks, Chris Gatling. This versatile 12-year veteran boosts the Sonics with outside shooting, rebounding, and excellent all-around play. From the Seattle Supersonics, Detlef Schrempf. This 20-year-old second-year forward has the Timberwolves challenging for their first playoff spot. From the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett. Unable to participate and not here today from the Los Angeles Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal. And unable to participate from the Houston Rockets, Clyde Drexler. Also from the Houston Rockets, Charles Barkley. And now the starting lineup. This 4-time All-Star leads his team in assists, steals, and minutes. From the Seattle Supersonics, Gary Payton. This guard is the all-time leader in assists and steals. From the Utah Jazz, John Stockton. He's the most prolific shot blocker in league history, playing in his 12th All-Star game. From the Houston Rockets, Hakeem Olajuwon. This powerful forward has delivered a record 9 consecutive seasons with 2,000 points. From the Utah Jazz, Karl Malone. This forward has raised his scoring and rebounding averages in each of his 7 NBA seasons. From the Seattle Supersonics, Shawn Kemp. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1997 Western Conference All-Stars. And now let's meet the 1997 NBA Eastern Conference All-Stars. The head coach of the Eastern Conference All-Stars from the Detroit Pistons, Doug Collins. Assistant coaches also from the Detroit Pistons, Johnny Bach, Alvin Gentry, John Hammond, and Brian James. The trainer is from your Cleveland Cavaliers, Gary Briggs. He's played in every game in his first 3 pro seasons. From the Milwaukee Bucks, Vin Baker. This versatile forward is enjoying a career year in scoring and rebounding, making his all-star debut from the Atlanta Hawks, Christian Laettner. One of the top perimeter shooters in the league and making his second consecutive all-star appearance from the Charlotte Hornets, Glenn Rice. The only remaining member from the Pistons' back-to-back NBA championships, he's making his sixth all-star appearance from the Detroit Pistons, Joe Dumars. This exciting forward leads his team in points, blocks, and rebounds. A first-time All-Star from the Washington Bullets, Chris Webber. Making his fourth All-Star appearance from the Miami Heat, Tim Hardaway. He's among the league leaders in scoring, assists, and steals, and leads the league in free throw shooting from your Cleveland Cavaliers, Terrell Brandon. Injured and unable to participate from the Miami Heat, Alonzo Mourning. Also injured and unable to participate from the New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing. And now the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference. Playing in his sixth straight All-Star game with a 1994 MVP performance from the Chicago Bulls, Scottie Pippen. This versatile star has led his team to its best ever start this year. From the Detroit Pistons, Grant Hill. He's led the league in block shots for a record 3 straight seasons. From the Atlanta Hawks, Dikembe Mutombo. This fourth-year guard is a 3-time All-Star. From the Orlando Magic, Penny Hardaway. The 4-time league and finals MVP and 2-time All-Star MVP from the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1997 NBA All-Stars. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Cleveland Military Processing Station.
Detail, hope, think.
Performing the Canadian National Anthem, please welcome recording artist Amanda Marshall.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command, car ton bras c'est porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh,
To honor America with the singing of the national anthem, we have two talented artists. Please welcome singing sensation Brian McKnight, accompanied by 5-time Grammy Award-winning jazz saxophonist David Sanborn.
Great job by Brian McKnight, David Sanborn, and a jumper
show is taking place just outside the door. It is the world's largest sporting goods show. More than 104,000 people